Alright, so we're going to look at the RoboMark app today. We're going to use the default app for that, which is the standard Windward Leeward. Just press on the D here, and that will open up the app, and as you can immediately see, we already have some marks out here. Before we got on the water, we did connect the tablet to the hotbox. We connected it to the Wi-Fi of the hotbox, and the tablet and the hotbox always stay in the same place. They stay together because there's a short-range Wi-Fi that needs to happen there, and then the hotbox itself connects with all the marks out here. So hotbox and the tablet stay together as a unit. All right, so we're out here on the water, and we're gonna look at what we got here going on. So we see we have 4 marks, 1 through 4. They have they're signified by this red dot and a line, a heading. That's the actual heading of the mark. So that will tell you where the wind's coming from, and which is very handy when you have to set up a course. The yellow dots are the course marks, so W1, W2, L1, L2, and then we have the starting line defined by S1, S2, and we also have the option to define a finishing mark with F. The other point that you see here is RC. That is us. RC is the position of the tablet, not the hotbox or anything else. It's the position of the tablet. The tablet has a GPS in it, so that's the position of the tablet. As I showed you before, we can actually move the course around just by pressing and holding with our finger on the screen, and we can move the course around. The marks will not be moving. It's just the actual course that we're designing on the water here. Okay, so let's just move into designing a course. For that, we go to the menu, the course part, and we see here currently we have a course set at 250, 60 meter windward leg, and a starting line of 12 meters with a bias of 0 degrees, a small lure gate, L1, L2 of 10 meters. And so let's save that course and take a look at it on our screen. If for any chance you want to rotate the course one way or another, you can do that, or by tapping and holding the compass button at the top right. That will align the course with the screen, and that just makes it easy to see. Currently, we see the marks are kind of a little bit confused in here because the wind is very unstable, so you'll be seeing them moving around quite a bit on the screen direction. But nevertheless, that shouldn't be a problem for us to show you how we're using the app. Okay, the next point that we need to do is we need to assign the individual marks to their position. So right here we see mark number 4 is assigned to W1. That's that blue line that heads over to W1. Mark number 3 is assigned to L2, which we're going to change, and mark number 1 is also assigned to L2, and mark number 2 is assigned to S2, so the port and the starting line. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our course on top of the race committee because we're anchored, and the idea is that we are the port end of the starting line, so S1. And the way to do that, very simple, is go to your menu, go to assign, and then at the top you'll find snap to RC boat. We press and hold. That will bring the whole course to us, and now as you can see, S1 is right on top of RC, and all we need to do now is make sure that the robotic marks, the RoboMarks, are assigned to the correct places. So mark number 4 is assigned to W1, that's good, but the other ones we need to reassign. So we'll go into the assign menu, and here we can choose where these buoys are supposed to be assigned to. So buoy number 1 currently is assigned to L2. And we want that to be L1, so we're going to change it to L1. Buoy number 2 is assigned to S2, that's correct. Buoy number 3 should be W2, so we'll bring that out from the pull down menu. And then buoy 4, W1, that's correct. We don't have a buoy 5 or through 8, so we can forget about those. Let's go look at the screen. And as we see, these blue lines, they show us where the marks will be heading as soon as we send them their marching orders. This looks all good. So let's do that. So before you send them, look around, make sure everything is clear. If the windward mark is far away, you need to get your mark set boat up there to give you a go ahead. We're good, so we're going to send our marks to the correct spots. All right, so buoy number 1, we're going to send you to L1. You'll see a little progress bar come up. Buoy number 2, go to S2. So you need to press and hold in order to initiate these marching orders. Otherwise, if you just give it a little tap, nothing's going to happen. So press and hold GoTo. And our last one, all right. So now as we see, the marks are getting in position. And as soon as you see all these green dots at the top, it changes colors from red to green. That means once they're in green, that means they're in position. So I'll zoom out a little bit. And that kind of looks like this. Right now we're very, very close on the zoom, so it looks a bit different, but it's just an idea to give you an idea how this works. So the RC boat, as you see, is also swinging a little bit all around our anchor here. But that's normal as well. And so that's how you set the course. If you want to make a course change, go back into your menu, change your course direction. Let's say you want to go just a touch more right, 10 degrees right, put in 260, done, save course. And as we see, everything is swung around S1, us being anchored on the port starboard end of the line. Everything's swung around, and now again you can assign the marks, giving their marching orders. L1 is basically already almost in position as they're so close. S2 is going to have to come upwind a little bit. S3, buoy 3, sorry, going to go to W2, and buoy 4. We're going to send that one to W1. And if we look on our screen, we can see that the marks are now heading to their spots. You'll notice that on the right side, in the right column, there's a meter and something that says in position. If you make a course change, it will tell you how long it will take you for the mark to go to its respective place. It's a really nice feature for the race officer to know when he can start a race. So that's your assign menu. We can go and check out the wind application that we have. That's always in relation to the mark that has been assigned to W1. As we can see right here, it's a little bit erratic because we've been moving the mark a lot, but that will settle down and give you information on averages of what direction the wind's coming from. That's a nice feature to have. And in your settings, you can change your language, English, German, or French. We have a different option in regards to the map view, if terrain or satellite. I personally prefer terrain. I'll keep that there. And if you want to have nautical miles, you can switch that here to nautical miles. That will just be for the windward leg, and the smaller distances are still all in meters. Now, if you do not need a gate, for example, at the top or an offset, you just go into your course menu, and as we can see, currently we have 10 meters entered as a distance between W1 and W2. We'll just set that at 0. And save course. And now you'll only have one Leeward mark. The same with the Leeward gate. If you just have one mark at the bottom, you just put in 0 as a gate distance. Save course. And so this just simplifies your course that you have. Now you have one Leeward mark and one Leeward mark. And these are just positions on the screen, which will then, they'll take the coordinates, the app will take the coordinates of this position and send your mark to that position. Again, if you want to move the app around, tap and hold, and you can move the course around on the screen so that everything is where you want it to be. And then just let go and you're ready to send your marks to their respective positions. All right, so in order to get the map onto your tablet, you need to connect the tablet to an actual Wi-Fi with internet. And as you do that, it will automatically download the map data. And all you need to do is zoom in and out in the area that is of interest of you. So if you zoom in, you get some more of the details, move it around, and that will just basically download the map data. You do the same with the satellite view as well, if you prefer satellite. And just get a bit of the lake in, and then you're good to go. So if you do go to a new place, you'll need to download that map data as well. We're going to send this back to terrain. Yep. One of the questions I get is, how do I set a starting line bias? So we're going to set our course, and in our course menu, you see the starting line length, and you see there's a little angle down there. So if you set that, instead of 0, you set that at 7 degrees, for example, that will give you a 7-degree bias on the port end in relation to the course direction that you set. Save course. That will bring the mark up a bit, and we have to send the mark where it should be. So we have mark number 2 telling it to go to S2. And as we see, it gets its marching orders. It goes upwind a bit. It anchors. And then it just drifts back a couple feet until the virtual anchor line holds. And then we'll swing into the wind. There it is. Now your line has been reset with a little bit of bias to windward. Yeah, so that's how we generally use our app. If for by any chance you need to set a mark in a specific place, all you need to do is bring an assigning point to that place. So just by using your finger, of pressing on the screen and holding, you can move those yellow dots and blue dots around, and that's the coordinates that the mark will be given to go there. So like we have now mark number 1 and mark number 4 is assigned to W1. We see this through this blue line. So if I send their marching orders to GoTo, it will go there. So mark number 1 will go to that yellow spot. And even if I move the course around again with my finger, it doesn't care because it got its marching orders based on where that yellow spot was when I pushed the button. So that way, that allows you just to send the mark to wherever you want it to go. If by any chance you aren't able to design a course the exact way that you had it in mind through the app, that gives you that option. we're going to send mark number 1 to its position, L1, and then I'll show you how to reassign a mark, for example, after the start. So as we see here, the course that we have is a windward leeward with a starting line and a leeward gate. And buoy number 2 is currently assigned to S2. After the start, you can then move buoy 2 to L2. And all you need to do is go find buoy number 2, get the pull down menu, choose L2. And if we close that now we see that buoy number 2 is assigned to L2. So again, hit the GoTo button, press and hold. Progress bar will show you that it's moving, and buoy 2 will move into its new spot. L2, it will drop the anchor, and then just drift back until it's on its virtual anchor line, and you're good to go. So if we want to set the gate L1, L2 to leeward of the start line, all we need to do is change the course and use a negative number. So instead of 10 meters, we'll need to enter minus 10 meters. And we do that by pressing the button that has the dot and the minus sign on it. And just by pressing it twice, tapping it twice, the minus sign will appear in front of the 10. We can save course. And when we go and look back on the screen, we now see that L1, L2 is to leeward of the starting line. Again, you could now send the marks to go down there. So you can always use a minus as well to reconfigure your course if you want something to be to windward or to leeward, or also the angles. There you go. So let's say we've sent a mark on its way, and while it's going to its assigned place, we need to stop the mark. So let's do this with buoy number 4. We're going to send buoy number 4 to W1. We're going to assign buoy number 4. We're going to send it to W1, GoTo. And we see it's going to be 30 meters. It'll take 23 seconds. And now it's underway. And if something happens during that time period, you can always hit the pause button. So by pressing and holding pause, the mark will stop and anchor itself right there. So that allows you to take immediate action if anything gets in the way, or if you're repositioning, for example, the windward mark to the right, and you have the fleet arriving at the bottom gate, and you need to stop the mark because the mark needs to be in place for the next leg, then you just press that pause button and the mark will hold position right where it is at that moment. All right, let's look at the TRAPEZOID app. The TRAPEZOID app is also the ILCA app. And we use that for the ILCAs and for the 470s and Optis, for example. Let's take a closer look at that. Again, it starts off with the map showing up. The course is somewhere else, somewhere here up on the hill here where you had it maybe last time. So let's just bring the course over to our place where we are. We do that by hitting the snap to RC boat, so press and hold, and that will bring the whole course to us. Now we're going to change the course direction for it to make more sense. We'll do 250 here. And we're going to align the screen with the course. All right, so let's just quickly go through this. A lot more marks here on this outer course configuration. Again, we have a starting line, a Leeward inner gate. We have W1, W2, short offset, W2, W1, W1A, W2, and the outer loop and an outer loop gate at the bottom. We have a lot more options here. Again, these are just positions that we can use to send the marks to. As we can see right now, we have mark number 3 is assigned to W2, mark number 2 is assigned to W1, etc. Now, if we, for example, would like to change the course direction for the outer loop, often on bigger courses, the outer loop and the inner loop will have different winds, and the course allows you to do that. So you go into the course menu, and you see at the top we have the inner loop is set at 250, and we can set the outer loop, for example, at 230. So 20-degree left shift over at the outer loop, and that will look like this. Again, whatever you type in and save, you can go and look at it on the screen and make sure it makes sense to you. We have a finishing line right here up the middle of the bead here for the outer loop. That's more of an opti thing. The ILCAs, for example, the ILCAs would be, I believe, somewhere around 125 meters, so a little bit shorter. There you go. There's your finishing mark. We're going to change out here. All right, so that would be your ILCA course with an inner loop and an outer loop and 2 separate headings for each loop. And that makes it really handy to set a course. The rest of the features are all the same. It's just a question of finding the right position for each mark. The last RoboMark app that we have is the one we produced for the Sailing League. It's specific to the Sailing League. Let's take a closer look at that. Again, the map will show up. The course is somewhere on the lake here. Let's get it a bit closer to us. So hit assign, snap to RC boat. And now it's here. We'll change the course direction. Course direction W1 is at 250. And save course. We'll align the screen with the course direction. All right. So I'll make the numbers make a bit more sense. So 20 meters and 15 and 60 meters. 10. All right. Again, we are on S1. S2 is over here. Looks like we have quite a bias on S2. Let's go check that. Yeah, we got a 20-degree bias. Let's put that down to 5 degrees. That looks better. We have currently, you see the yellow mark is flashing, which means everything is set up towards yellow. That means also that the finish line will be set to be perpendicular to yellow, and also L1, L2, the Leeward gate. We can change that by going into our course menu and pressing at the top button. There's you can choose between W1 in yellow. So if I push W1, that goes black. If I save course, now everything is aligned towards W1. The gate is aligned to W1 and the finishing line as well. And if we go back again, we switch to yellow, save course. That yellow mark will start blinking, and now we know the course is set up towards the yellow mark. Again, the blue lines tell us where the marks are assigned to. We can change that in the assign menu, in our pull down menus, whatever makes sense, whatever you've decided on. And voila.